Long before Thanos ruled as a powerful warlord, he lived on his home planet of Titan, a once beautiful world that became overpopulated, straining their finite resources and leaving them on the verge of disaster. In order to save his people from their impending doom, Thanos put forth a plan to kill half of the population at random so the survivors and planet could once again thrive. However, his ideas were rejected, and so Titan fell to a great cataclysm which destroyed the land and wiped out most of the population. Thanos was forever scarred by this event, believing that had they accepted his proposal, disaster might have been averted. Convinced that eliminating half the population was the only way for the species of the universe to survive, he grew his strength, becoming the ruler of the Chitauri and Outriders, as well as creating the Black Order to serve him by adopting strong-willed children and training them as deadly warriors. With his ever-growing might, Thanos started to visit various planets which suffered from overpopulation and limited resources, forcibly enacting his plans. Though he gained a reputation as a brutal killer and merciless tyrant, Thanos claimed that it was because of his efforts that these planets went on to flourish, with those that survived now able to live long and happy lives. However, the Titan warlord knew he had to find a way to work on a larger scale, and so desired to find the Infinity Stones, 6 gems of immense power representing space, reality, mind, power, soul, and time. Using the Infinity Gauntlet forged by the dwarves of Nidavellir, he could wield all 6 at once, giving him the power to eliminate half the population of the universe with a snap of his fingers. Over time, he came to possess the Mind Stone, but soon lost it as he suffered a number of setbacks, entrusting beings like Loki of Asgard who failed him, Ronan the Accuser who betrayed him, and even his daughter Gamora who chose to lie about what she found. During these ventures, he also lost a large portion of his Chitauri army, and suffered a personal loss when 2 of his daughters turned against him. But Thanos was undeterred and decided to get the stones himself, preparing an army of Outriders who, along with the Black Order, would serve him in this final campaign. First, he captured the Power Stone held on Xandar, homeworld of the Nova Corps, decimating the population. He then tracked down his former ally Loki, who was in possession of the Space Stone, and was traveling alongside Thor and the last of the Asgardians on their way to Earth after the destruction of their homeworld. Though the Hulk, Thor, Loki, and other warriors on board did what they could to resist him, Thanos and his children defeated them all, killing half the population and capturing the Space Stone. Loki was killed, as was Heimdall, yet before he died, he used the power of the Bifrost one last time to transport the Hulk to Earth, allowing him to warn them of the looming danger. Thor was left for last, forced to watch his friends die before being tossed out into space. After being defeated in single combat by Thanos and sent back to Earth, the Hulk landed in the New York Sanctum, where he transformed back into Bruce Banner, immediately warning Doctor Strange and Wong that Thanos was coming. Although Doctor Strange held the Time Stone, they needed to secure the Mind Stone as well, and so approached Tony Stark, hoping he could lead them to Vision, only to learn that he had recently disappeared. In order to locate him, Stark considered calling Steve Rogers to ask for assistance, yet he was soon interrupted by Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian, who landed near the Sanctum seeking the Time Stone. The children of Thanos were then confronted by Doctor Strange and Wong, as well as Tony Stark, who became Iron Man, and Spider-Man, who was close by, arriving to help. Unfortunately, Bruce Banner was unable to join the fight, as the Hulk refused the transformation. Although able to neutralize Cull Obsidian, sending him through a portal, Ebony Maw proved too powerful, capturing Doctor Strange and departing aboard his ship. Though he wished only to take the Time Stone, it was held within the Eye of Agamotto, protected by a powerful spell he could not break. However, both Tony Stark and Peter Parker, wearing a new Iron Spider suit, were able to stow away aboard the ship, working together to space Ebony Maw, rescuing the Doctor. They then continued onto Titan, searching for Thanos to stop him from acquiring more stones. Back on Earth, Wong departed to protect the Sanctum, while Bruce Banner called Steve Rogers and informed him of the situation. Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon then tracked down their ally Scarlet Witch, who was in Scotland meeting with Vision. Fortunately, they arrived just in time to battle Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive, who were sent for the Mind Stone. Defeated, the Black Order returned to their ship, and the former Avengers decided to take Vision to Wakanda, where it might be possible to remove the stone without his death. While Earth's heroes prepared to deal with the coming invasion, far off in space, the Guardians of the Galaxy found Thor's body while responding to a distress call, rescuing him and learning that Thanos was on the hunt for the stones. Determining that he would next be traveling to nowhere for the Reality Stone, they split into two groups, with Thor, Rocket, and Groot traveling to Nidavellir, where they might forge a new weapon to replace Mjolnir, while Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and Mantis went to find the Collector and protect the Reality Stone. When Thor and his companions arrived on Nidavellir, they encountered Eitri, ruler of the dwarves, who was forced to watch Thanos massacre his people before cutting off the king's hands. Thor urged him to help forge a weapon that might defeat the enemy who had done this to his people, and so the king agreed and crafted a new hammer called Stormbreaker, made from the heart of a dying star. Arriving on Nowhere, Gamora and her crew were too late to stop Thanos, who had already taken the Reality Stone, using its power to create an illusion that helped capture Gamora. Although Star-Lord had promised to kill her if necessary to protect the knowledge she held concerning the location of the Soul Stone, Thanos used his powers to neutralize the weapon and teleport away. Back on his ship, Thanos revealed that he had captured Nebula and tortured her until Gamora gave up the Soul Stone's location. They then traveled to the planet Vormir, where they met Red Skull, who had been transported to this place after holding the Space Stone, and now served as a guide for those seeking the Soul Stone's power. Unfortunately for Thanos, in order to get what he wanted, he had to sacrifice that which he loved above all else, his daughter Gamora, throwing her over a cliff and receiving the Soul Stone in return. Though nothing would stop him from completing his mission, this was a sacrifice that truly caused him deep pain. While exploring Titan, Iron Man's team encountered Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis, deciding to work together to stop Thanos, while learning that Doctor Strange had used the Time Stone to see 14 million possible futures, concluding that only in one scenario were they able to defeat the Dark Lord. Thanos then arrived, searching for the fifth stone, and engaged in a battle against Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, Drax the Destroyer, Mantis, and Nebula, who soon joined them. Combining their strength, they were nearly able to defeat the enemy, as Mantis placed him in a trance which weakened him enough that they might remove the gauntlet from his hand. But when Star-Lord learned that Thanos sacrificed Gamora for the Soul Stone, he was unable to control his fury, attacking the Titan, which broke the hold over his mind, allowing him to recover his strength. Victorious, Thanos then threatened to kill Iron Man until Doctor Strange agreed to give up the Time Stone in exchange for sparing his life. With the fifth stone in his possession, Thanos departed for Earth. Although Doctor Strange was sworn to protect the stone at all costs, he soon told Tony that giving it up was the only way, possibly referring to the one scenario in which they might prove victorious in the end. The final battle for the Mind Stone would then take place in Wakanda, where the Black Order and Outriders attacked, while the Wakandan army, led by Black Panther, defended their position, supported by the remaining Avengers, including Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, War Machine, Winter Soldier, Scarlet Witch, and Bruce Banner, wearing Hulkbuster armor since he was still unable to transform. Unfortunately, Hawkeye and Ant-Man were unavailable, as they had taken deals with the government to relocate with their families. Thor, Rocket, and Groot then joined the fight, with Stormbreaker proving a powerful weapon even against Thanos, who soon arrived. Yet they ultimately failed to give Black Panther's sister enough time to save Vision, forcing Scarlet Witch to destroy the man she loved in order to prevent Thanos from getting the final stone. However, the Dark Lord then simply used the Time Stone to reverse what she'd done, and ripped the Mind Stone from Vision's head. Although the Avengers kept fighting, Thanos now held all 6 Infinity Stones, and with a snap of his fingers, completed his mission, eliminating half of the universe's population, which suddenly vanished into black ash. Those who were called included Winter Soldier, Falcon, Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Groot, Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man, while Iron Man survived, alongside Captain America, Bruce Banner, Thor, Rocket, War Machine, Black Widow, and Nebula. As the battle raged in Wakanda, Maria Hill and Nick Fury were in New York, looking into what was happening, but soon both became victims of Thanos, disappearing into black ash. However, moments before vanishing, Nick Fury was able to reach for a pager and send an emergency message to another superhero named Captain Marvel in the hopes she might aid humanity against this new threat. After the battle, Thanos was transported to an unknown location where he met with his daughter Gamora as a child, discussing all that he had lost to complete his mission. Yet in the end, he was successful, believing that he had ensured a future of peace and prosperity for those who remained. And so with his life's work complete, he sat in silence and watched the sun rise. do your shopping on Amazon? Then why not use the link in the description box below to either the Canadian, American, or UK Amazon sites, where you support the channel with every purchase at no extra cost to you. So if you do your shopping on Amazon anyway, why not use the link below and help support CivilizationEx? A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Sir Pagelot the Death Dealer, Amethyst Honeywine, and Lord Terax Zaron, Master of Terror. If you would like to help CivilizationEx, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like and subscribe, and click on the links to see more.